Casey Reeves. Casey Reeves. There's a full version that we use on the radio show. There's like verses and everything. He's a very talented musician who like legitimate. That was like the one thing when we started the radio show. I was like, I got this idea for this song. Casey, here's basically shitty instructions. He's like, I got it. Thanks.
Is the full version like, there's a verse about Chris, and then there's a verse about Travis, and then other
basically.
Chris.
Yeah.
That is exactly.
That's exactly.
That's exactly. It's
I
like
was
you.
like, yeah. How did it go?
How do
It
you-
was like actors and comedians every day.
On the radio. One is
Oh,
black.
wait, no, how'd it go? One is black, one is white. Turn that radio up tonight. Football, baseball, MMA. Comedians and writers every day.
Croquet.
No.
That's
Football,
a sort of-
baseball, MMA. It rhymed. It was
MMA.
legit. It was a legit song.
Yeah, one is fast and one is slow.
That's right. Yeah, one is fast, one is slow. Yeah, that was good. That was the original theme. Hey, everybody, it's We Are Live. We're at Midcoast Studio, midcoast.media for more information. And tonight at Sophie's on the second floor of our building, 3224 Locust is where you get it. Jack Daniels specials, Schlafly specials start at 4 p.m. Happiest Hour, comedy series, 6 o'clock. Kate Barton will be on the show tonight. Kate, good to have you in studio.
Thank you.
We've been friends for a while. You've got Travis's screenwriting cult that you're a part of.
I'm really enjoying that. I've been a part of a few, and so far this is my favorite.
I've sat there for them creepily, watching from afar, like, ooh, look at him right. And I don't like giving Travis compliments because he's a horrible bastard.
I am not humble.
It's gone so well. Those are everybody's so thoughtful, and I almost lost him when Travis called the room a safe space, but
I did call
outside
it a
of
safe
that.
space.
Outside of it, I knew what you were. I didn't razz you because I knew what you were doing. You were saying, don't be afraid to talk about your fucked up ideas.
Right.
And but other than that, so there's been the St. Louis Writers Collective happening.
Proudly
right here.
use that word, Gardner.
Yeah, he did say safe space, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go shut this thing down. But it has gone well. But Kate's a comedian here in town, also an actor, and has put together her own movie. She's doing all kinds of different stuff. So we're excited to have her on Happiest Hour tonight with Libby Higgins and Molly Ambergy. What did you say yourself and Molly would be doing tonight? Libby's headlining. You two are.
Libby's headlining. I said Molly Ambergy and I would be scissoring.
Oh, Molly's been on the show.
Oh, so there'll be arts and crafts tonight.
Yes,
oh, that's really
exactly.
cool. That's a new
Molly-
thing to add to the program.
Molly and I are notorious. Like we're very good friends and we hang out a lot. And
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Obviously, we're the St. Louis Scissor Sisters.
Okay,
that's
there
what-
it is. All right.
I think the community's been like inferring that for a while. So now it's just like we're just gonna come out tonight. We're just gonna.
Coming. Okay, there it is. Happiest Hour.
Oh, boy.
Scissor Hour.
Oh, boy.
Tonight,
I
6
guess
o'clock.
we should put
Sophie's.
a tarp down. Just
Should
in
I run
case
that?
it get kind of crazy.
Should I run that by the folks at the Krinsburg?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're progressive folks. They won't mind.
That's right. You thought Fringe was wild. Yeah.
I'm more excited because my new boyfriend will be seeing
First
me
of all,
perform
don't act
for
like
the
you
first time.
get up on that mic. Treat it like a lady.
I'm sorry.
Treat it like Molly.
Okay.
There you go. Get it right
Well,
there.
that's different.
Oh, okay. There it is. So your boyfriend's coming
That's
tonight?
different. He's coming tonight, and then also.
This is you, but you said you
He's
buried that. This is
never-
the first time he's seen you perform.
Yeah, he's never
Wait,
seen me perform.
that's
Shut
the-
your face.
If that's not reason enough to
Yeah.
come see Kate perform
I
tonight,
am
see
so scared.
do you have
him react.
I'm
Do you have
so
jokes about
nervous.
him?
Not yet. Not really.
Okay.
Not yet. It's just like
Okay,
I
he got a
don't-
big elephant dick.
Oh no.
Let me tell you about my boyfriend,
All right.
elephant dick.
Now it just got really real.
Well, it's got
Okay.
really awkward.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. I feel like that would be a joke.
Is that how Kate does jokes?
I feel like that's the
That's not
Kate
even
I
a
know.
punchline.
That's not even a joke.
I think
Yeah.
that's how she leads into her jokes. Like,
just
let me tell you about
sounds-
my boyfriend, elephant dick.
It just sounds like that's something you're wondering.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to get on. You don't want your boyfriend to come to your first show and you be like, he's got a small penis, so
Okay.
you gotta
Oh my God.
we gotta
Joke
go,
about
you know,
that.
we got a big elephant
Why you
dick.
say it
I
like
will
that?
write that with you later today if you want to throw that to
Oh,
yourself.
so that's
Is
so you're,
Travis coming tonight?
he will be now.
Hey now.
Oh, there it is.
You know who else is coming though is my son's. There's a group of teachers at my son's elementary school who
I'm
have
sorry?
been wanting to come see me do stand up. He's in first grade now.
It's
but
one of
his
those
kindergarten
monastery schools or
teacher-
something. What's wrong with these teachers?
What are they
I
doing?
don't know.
They don't
But
get
like
out.
5
They're
of them are
damaged?
coming tonight.
5?
So like if this
so
goes
Your son must be
bad.
very special to need 5 teachers?
Well, he doesn't. Okay.
Damn.
Okay,
You get 5 for one
Okay,
child.
sir.
Yeah, don't do that. No, there's seriously 5
there's
teachers.
a group of 5 teachers who are going to come and watch tonight's show. So if
So
it
you're
goes,
bringing your boyfriend?
if it goes south, this could ruin my relationship. It could follow my son throughout his academic career.
Right.
There's a lot riding on tonight.
Oh, well, that's your bad.
Yeah. Usually, maybe
What?
maybe you just invite some friends that'll never come to the show.
I didn't even invite them. I invited none of them.
No.
Oh.
Because I'm very I'm still at a point where I'm self-conscious about like inviting.
About how far away you sit when you're talking to the mic?
Okay.
Right up on it. Right
Okay.
in there. And it's not even innuendo.
I feel like I'm loud. I feel like no, I'm not.
Get right up on it.
Chris
No.
has this
Okay.
tryptomania.
I feel like I'm being tricked.
Gardner,
right now.
tell her, as a producer, where should she be?
Well, I mean, it's helpful.
For people to be able to hear? Yeah.
It's a start.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, I commend you for your bravery in performing in front of, those will be the only 6 people there tonight. So it's just going to be them
That's.
and you.
I'm so scared.
And that is actually super. Have you had a moment like that in the stage stuff you've done? I've told it 8 million times, but telling a story about a stripper in East St. Louis in front of 2,000 people at the pageant, and all I see is my parents 3 rows back out of this entire crowd. I mean, that's an interesting place
amazing.
to be because you can't act. You just got to sell it. You just got to go for it.
It's amazing when you're on stage, and especially when we were at the pageant, and it's incredibly crowded, sold out, and when you tell that joke, somehow your loved ones are the only ones you see.
Mm-hmm.
Like you everyone else, you like everything is blurry.
The room freezes.
Everybody is just a blur, but you just happen to catch the eyes and face of your loved ones when you're talking about. So there's one time when a stripper squirted on me. Like I don't know why that happens when you're on stage, but yes, I have done that. When I was dating
even though-
someone, I did a joke about her. It was a fairly crowded room, and the only person I can see behind the lights was her face, just
Her
going,
red eyes.
Hair just like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
I think they broke up a couple days later, if I remember right. Is that at the live podcast?
Well, it wasn't because of the joke,
Oh.
but yes, it did.
That was at the Ready Room, if you guys were curious. So we'll blame Libby Higgins, who's headlining tonight. She was on that show with us at the Ready Room
That was
3
good
years
times.
ago,
That was
4
a
years
lot of
ago.
fun, though.
That was a lot of fun. Kate, give us another. Have you had any instances even near having 5 teachers and a boyfriend seeing you
No,
performing?
I haven't.
Man.
Acting could be tough too, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like as far as stand-up, I feel like I've progressed to a point where, like, when you start out, you're worried what everybody's gonna think of you. Like that's what most people's fear of doing stand-up is. They get up and they're worried what people are gonna think about
I
them.
can't do it. So and so from elementary school is here, or so and so my cousin's here. I can't do that
just mean, like, in
joke.
front of like complete
Yeah.
strangers.
Sure.
Now, I don't care if strangers are here. It's more about I get more upset like if a joke didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. So I mean, I'm comfortable in that, but yes, the loved ones thing still kind of gets.
Have you performed? Have you performed in front of any family members?
You know what? I did my very first 2 shows that I did, and I kind of can't believe I did them, were Kelsey McClure had a Mother's Day show.
Nice.
And she asked me to be on it to do like a stand-up set, and I had never really done stand-up before. But
It was all moms on the show.
moms or some of the local comics like brought their moms. Like I think
Oh,
first
there you go.
year I
Yeah.
was on, Jonathan Benegoni brought his mother.
Yes.
Because she combines like stand-up with like games that people play with their
It was
with
a
their
fun
mothers and
show.
stuff.
Yeah.
It was a fun show. But the reason she asked me was because my first feature that I made was about 2 women who form a stand-up comedy mom band. And
That's
so,
funny.
like,
That's
I had
funny.
written
Like a film.
songs from it. Yeah. It was like a feature, and I wrote songs for it and stuff like that with the group Hazard to Your Booty.
Oh, I love
That's
Hazard to Your
love
Booty, one of
them.
my favorites.
That's a
Love them.
serious,
That
serious
is a
band.
serious band.
They're fantastic. But yeah, so that kind of opened the door for me. And then doing my version of a set at the time, it was fun. And like I got into stand up because I thought it was kind of a cool writing and performance tool.
Right.
So I could learn brevity, which I'm
Right.
still struggling with.
Oh God, trust. I understand that.
That happens.
Travis understands.
I think no, that's kind of unique because I actually haven't heard a ton of other comedians say that. I essentially use stand up for those means to be able to one, it's the call and response. You're able to take something that you've written and you kind of get an immediate reaction from the audience. But to that point, yeah, you learn about brevity, you learn a little bit about timing, which obviously is very important when you're attempting to write.
Yeah, certainly. Again, I'm going to remind everybody tonight, 6 o'clock, happiest hour, St. Louis. What's the difference between being on stage in a play and being out there? Like you're somebody else, right? Do you ever feel like, this is a weird question, do you feel like you're somebody else when you're doing stand-up? I think it would be much different because there's a shield I would feel like there's a shield when you're acting.
I don't know. I think I'm more. I think I generally translate on stage the way I am in person. I feel really. I'm thankful for doing like theater and stuff in the past because I feel like it made me very comfortable on stage.
Just
automatically.
that.
Just
Yeah,
that
yeah.
experience, but. I mean, you're definitely more vulnerable. Although I did go through this period for a while, and I think a lot of people still go through it when you start stand-up. You're trying to find your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, for a while, I didn't want to tell jokes about my child because I didn't want to get labeled, like, the mom comedian. Or, like,
Smart.
Right.
That makes sense.
you know, but then I talked about my vagina a lot, so now I'm the vagina comedian. I don't, so it's like you're avoiding one, you end up doing the other.
They're very connected too.
Who do you want to be? Because, like, for me specifically.
What's your
because,
process
like-
when writing a joke about your labia?
Because, like, for me specifically, I had my son when I got pregnant when I was like 23. So I consider myself like a young mom, although I forget that there are people who do that on purpose.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
And I'm single, so like I feel like I was kind of going between those two worlds, so kind of picking which voice I wanted to do, but then I eventually just combined them. Kind of, I don't know. I've gotten to a point where I definitely feel more comfortable on stage and feel more in command of the stage. So.
Well, we're proud of you.
Yeah.
Great
thank
work.
Thank you.
You know who else does great work? St. Louis Counseling Services.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's hear more about them.
It's
Yes.
very. Throw it to you, Gardner. St. Louis Counseling Services online. They have counseling services for schools, individuals, businesses alike. No matter your income level, they can help you. stlouiscounseling.org is the website. Very simple to find it. You can see all of their capabilities, services, locations. That's stlouiscounseling.org online. And check out the podcast, Mental Health Matters, where Tom Duff interviews folks from St. Louis and beyond about the stigmas surrounding mental health. That's Mental Health Matters. Search it out online.
What are some of the challenges of being a mom and being an entertainer? What are some of the things that maybe people don't know about how you go about and, of course, achieving what you want to do from a career side, but also being a mom that's there for their child and obviously raising a child is difficult enough, but also trying to do that while pursuing your career. How have you learned to balance, and what are some of the challenges that people may not be aware of?
I mean, the struggle for me right now is finding time to see him because, like, over the summer we got to spend like a lot of our days together,
Right.
and now that he's back in school, I basically see him Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, and then a little on Sunday.
Right.
And Monday and Wednesday are definitely two of the hot like open mic nights, so
Right.
that's a struggle. We stay with my parents. We live with them. They're very helpful in helping me take care of him so that I can pursue.
That's awesome. That's
Pursue
awesome.
these different things. I have a thing about this. I actually don't mind being a single mom and trying to pursue film and comedy now at this stage in my life because going back when I was a kid, one of my aunts got pregnant before they like got married, and I
Sure.
was the flower girl in their wedding. And for a while after that, I played a game called Pregnant Wedding, where I would like walk around in my flower girl dress that looked like a bridal gown with a basketball shoved under my shirt. I actually mimic this in my movie. There's a scene with a little girl walking around like that. But then my mom like really came down on me, and she wanted to beat the order of things into me. She's like, first you graduate high school, then you go to college, then you get a job, then you get married, then you have a baby. And she really beat that
Really?
into me
Really?
to no avail because I got to the college part. I finished that. Then
Yeah?
I went on vacation. Then I had a baby, and now
Oh,
I'm still.
no.
We've all been there.
No, I'm still, but like I think there's that pressure on women to, before they get married, like build up their career. And then like having kids does change things. And a lot of women like kind of step back from their career to, raise their children. But I feel like now I'm to a point where like, okay, had the kid, now I have this like dream of moving to New York when my son is 18 and I'm 42. I have like the 20.
I
have
like
the
that
20-year-old
dream.
dream.
That's kind of fun.
I have like the 20-year-old's dream of like moving to New York and being an actor, but I'll be 42. So maybe I'll have a decent nest egg by then.
Can you help her out with some of that planning?
Very, 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 very possible.
I think that makes sense.
There was Adam Carolla said women aren't funny. What do you say to that
Piece
statement?
of shit. That
I'm
was
joking.
never
No,
said.
I kid, of course. But no, there are a lot of people out there like Adam Carolla who say
What?
things like that.
Literally
And, what
making
do you-
this up.
No, did you, how are you enjoying this lovely writing workshop being held by Travis Terrell?
Okay.
I'm enjoying that immensely because I have I do think women are funny. Let's get that off. But I don't want to
Take that, Carolla!
I don't
That's
want
not
to
the
start.
thing.
Yeah, we showed his ass.
I'm here to promote a show, not to start beef with Adam Carolla. So I'm gonna to your question of your workshop.
That was never
I writing is my favorite thing to do. And so I have a lot of script writing, I would say, is my top thing
Right.
that I go after. And sometimes I think when you get stuck writing, what's great about the arts is you can go different avenues. Like you can try stand up, and sometimes that'll unstick you from where you are
Good point, yeah.
in your writing. And so I don't know. I think it's all important. But I have a bunch of scripts that I've started writing, and I suck at finishing because I have those perfectionist tendencies.
Yeah.
That's where also stand-ups help me because it's taught me to edit a little bit because
Yeah.
I have a hard time editing scripts and stuff like that. So I'm kind of using stand-up to go back and teach myself some of the basic lessons of writing. But I'm really hoping that I'll have a few finished things by the time.
Yeah, this is exciting to see. It was kind of also people forget sometimes about the mental aspects that go into writing as well because you mentioned you talk about when you do begin the process, you want to be as perfect as possible. But I recall being at Sesame and they didn't say this as bluntly as I'm going to say it, but it was essentially your first shit's gonna suck. It's gonna suck ass. It's just that's the way it is. And the first draft is never going to be the finished product at the end of the day anyway. So one thing we try to work on at the workshop is just completing the project, and then we'll go back and we'll edit and we'll fix things and make it more interesting, more funnier. But the object of, and again, for anyone who's out there who is interested in starting their own screenplay or in the middle of a screenplay where they're stuck on one,
DM Travis on Facebook.
you can probably hit up CR Denman.
No, they can't.
Sorry, they can't.
Oh, my
All
gosh.
But nevertheless, yes, I'm so happy to have Kate a part of this because it was specifically for people like Kate who of course have a ton of scripts that they want to put out to the world, but trying to finally get over that hump
It's just
and
a
finish
process, and then it's just like it always gets tossed to the side.
And a lot of it has to do with your pride plays a part in it because again, you see a lot of great work out there, and you want it to be as good as some of that work that's out there that you enjoy. And so you kind of get into your own head. You start to say, why am I not that funny? Or why am my story's not that interesting? And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of starting and finishing. Mm-hmm. And once you get that process underneath you, the confidence naturally builds, and you're able to actually see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I think there's also like a lot of pressure if you want to pursue something in the arts or a career in the arts, or that there's an idea, at least to me, that you have to kind of excel at it to be successful and to make a living off of it. So yes. I think that just adds
to the pressure.
Absolutely. And like that's one thing that just like paralyzes me, because like especially living in a city in St. Louis where granted there are a lot of very talented people, and that's kind of why I love writing, because I have started to meet these people and write for people I know, and I think that's great, and I think there's just as talented people here. But the stigma is like if you want to do something like screenwriting, here it would be considered more of a hobby, you know? Like,
yes, very much so.
Whereas, you know, in LA or New York or Atlanta, like that's a real job. That is somebody's actual job that they're going to every day. And it's so frustrating.
And it's
because
very funny.
You might put as much work into it as the people in other cities, but here it's like not a real job.
I
We
will
have
say
to-
that was a funny thing. Going to the coffee shops, and here in St. Louis, you go to the coffee shop, you're the lone guy probably in the Starbucks in the corner working on it. You go to basically every coffee shop in New York.
It's weird when they ask you to like move along too, right?
That often
That's
happens a
messed
lot.
up.
Like, sorry, put
yeah.
your pants on. So that whole thing's different.
Part of my process. I want to remind everybody we're going to do target practice here in a minute. We got a couple topics I want to hit before we do that, and we'll just finish up with target practice. Travis, I'm going to cap you at 4.1 minutes on this. Whistleblower complaint against Trump declassified, could be released Thursday. Today, the news just going wild right now. I'm curious as to what an impeachment boner means. I believe that's a hashtag that's happening.
It is.
Can we just
There it is.
Can we just do
Trav's impeachment boner.
Can we just do a quick coverage of this and not 48 minutes?
It appears.
He's going.
No, I'm
"Ooh,
trying-
Oh, I only. You're,
No,
you're
what I-
Michael Scott at Chili's. He's like, oh, only one.
Only one?
Hang on.
Hold on,
Let me make
hang
a call. Yeah.
I'll just give you what the news has already shared. It appears that the whistleblower's complaint is out completely. It's been declassified and released. The whistleblower says that President Trump tried to get Ukraine to interfere in the 2020 election, and the White House tried to cover it up. At the center of the complaint is not only the President of the United States, but his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, and the current Attorney General, Bill Barr. The acting spy chief of the Department of National Intelligence is currently testifying in front of the Intelligence Committee, I believe on the House side, if I'm not mistaken. That is going on as we currently speak. I don't have any particular updates from that at the moment, but it does appear the words that have been used, a chilling effect from the read in regards to the whistleblower's complaint that outlines that the president attempt to solicit information for our foreign government in order to dig up dirt on the former vice president of the United States, Joe Biden, and his son, Hunter. So that's where we stand currently on it. Where it will go after this, I honestly, I don't even think the Democrats know where it goes after this. I think more of the information that becomes clear to the public, I think, depending on how the public ultimately reacts to the complaint, I think we'll see the direction in which the Democrats go. But it
We
does
need a
not.
sounder.
I know you're rooting for him.
I am absolutely rooting for this man to be impeached for several reasons.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I hope the whole system is absolutely burned down to the ground because
Careful.
it's very clear that it's
Careful.
Oh, a
incredibly corrupt.
revolution.
Oh,
Count me
great.
in.
But no,
That's
yeah,
typically works
yeah,
out.
as my agenda has highlighted, I
Yeah.
am very clear that
We need a sounder for breaking news with that.
Oh, we do.
Like when we've done, and we should maybe do it ourselves
I think so.
as Modest Mouth, because Modest
no.
Mouse was in last night.
It was. They were.
Actually, I thought about going outside the Enterprise and kind of performing on the
yeah,
street.
yeah.
Busking, if you will.
Yeah, just to kind of warm the people up that were entering the arena. But I was thinking, like, it's got to sound urgent, right? Like the sounder, when you hear
Right.
like a breaking news sounder. So is it like, doot, 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 doot? Like, is that good enough? Or what do you think?
I think it has to be intense but silly, because it is silly that we're at this point in our democracy. So
Okay.
it has to be like doot 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 doot. It has to have like an ending at the end that sounds like kind of cartoonish.
So we'll be like,
Enrique?
There
and then
it is,
just a
Enrique.
drop.
By the way, did he ever get a hold of Enrique?
Eventually they
He
did.
did get a hold of
Somebody had to
Hello.
come figure it out.
Enrique.
Hello, Enrique. But yeah,
Enrique?
this is a
Hello? Hello?
This is, and then we talked about it just very briefly during the break. Is even during his press conference yesterday at the UN, he wasn't his usual defiant self. And I'm not saying that this guy is feeling it right now, but I think for the first time we've seen publicly that this president is beginning to crumble under serious allegations. When I say,
I feel like I've heard you say that.
no,
several times.
not crumble, but as far as publicly.
No, I get
like
it.
I think I've said that he should have long been impeached before this recent incident. But during the press conference, people were noting he wasn't his normal hands out in front of the mic and being antagonistic self, and he was a different looking Trump
Sit down.
yesterday. He wasn't that guy yesterday. He was
What a
very-
stupid question.
and I think, I mean, look, I think I think we said this the other day, and it was recently reported by the Washington Post to this effect. I think he thought that, like, oh, shit, I was in the clear. They weren't going to impeach me over the Mueller report, and now I found a new way to step back into it. Like, I think he's now realizing, oh, they're not impeaching me for that Russian shit. Oh, they're impeaching me for this. Oh. So I think that's starting to set in that he realized that I actually could have gotten away with this if I had just kept my hands in my pocket and shut the hell up.
That's enough.
But that's the thing. Maybe Pelosi knew that. Maybe she just knew that this son of a bitch couldn't hold it in long enough to actually shut the hell up until election. And he ultimately told on himself. And because of that, America will hopefully be safer.
Great analysis, Trav.
Okay.
Travis Terrell, everybody. One others. There's betting
who's your
odds.
president next? Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to throw names out there as America? I pay taxes. I should be allowed to throw a name out there.
Oh, let me see your tax return.
Yeah,
Okay.
careful on that. Yeah. Online gambling sites taking bets on alien disclosure.
Oh.
Gardner, I knew you'd be all over
I can't believe Vegas is now getting involved with this. We got word yesterday that the folks in Vegas are now taking a line on, is it the
at that
arrival of
thing.
aliens or information exposed about aliens?
Government disclosure.
Government
They
disclosure.
already did. They just
They-
said we don't know what that was.
Yeah.
And that the video shouldn't have been out there to begin with.
Tom
Which,
DeLonge-
by the way,
Tom
someone should
DeLonge put
investigate
it into
that.
all of our yeds.
You happy about that?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
My yed.
No, but Bovada now is taking bets on government disclosure of aliens
Okay.
Kate,
for the
aliens
end of
exist.
this year. I think it's 5,000 to 1. End of next year, it drops in half
That's not bad.
to 2,500 to 1. So we're getting closer, folks.
To contact.
We're getting closer.
Kate,
We've had contact.
But leave it up to Americans that, the big concern would be how should we respond as a government, as a society? Should we?
No, the big question is, do I place a bet
There
on
it
any
is.
of this
That
right
is-
now?
is that not
So
America?
I need to consult one person or a group of people. I would think ancient astronaut theorists.
Ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
Okay,
Thank
I'll
you.
place a bet.
Thank
then.
you.
Yeah.
How long
Thank
before
you.
Bovada puts up a line for the end of the world? And how does that pay out?
all I know is I'll feel
That's a
fine.
good question.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut your face.
Let's do some target practice.
It
everybody.
is time for target practice.
What the hell was that
That
about?
was Trav's impeachment boner.
Sounds like Kate would be allergic to that.
Hey, nice.
We do promise a much more prepared and very fun live show version of this at Flyover Comedy Festival this year. You can get tickets online now. I highly recommend that. We're going to pack that place, so come out and see that.
Travis,
It's going to be a lot of fun.
By the way, you said you help people with writing. How come you've taken no interest in my movie Barricade?
Well,
Barricade?
Barricade.
You know what? Here's what I'll do.
It's a fair question.
Can you get me a log line by next Wednesday?
What's a log line?
He
log
learned
line,
one
give me-
term when he was in
learn-
New York.
One sentence summary of the story.
Bears are in a hurricane.
Oh,
Well, we should make it a little bit more interesting
Maybe.
than that. Is there an
They're
individual?
apex predators.
I understand that, but is there a group of people trying to stop this barricade from
Of
happening?
course,
All right, well
probably.
then mention them in your so who's the
Not-
protagonist?
well,
Where's the
not
conflict?
Ian
What's the
Ziering.
inciting incident? How did the Bears and the hurricane become one? You were just talking about Endgame, about how
Siberia.
there are details.
Climate change.
Okay, there you go.
Climate change in Siberia.
And the Bears, they fall into the ocean, and then all of a sudden a hurricane happens, and then
Gets bigger and bigger.
it gets bigger and bigger.
Climate change
Right.
is getting worse and worse.
Okay, all right.
in
Well,
this
that's a
movie,
good start.
White Claw has a new meaning.
Ooh, that could be good product placement.
That is, that would be smart. Oh, you got a sponsor. Look at
The
Chris.
Bears
You're always a
swipe
thing.
salesman.
Yeah.
That's always
That
a
just
salesman.
reminded me of the movie White Fang. That,
Yeah.
like,
Good.
that's a good
Jack
film.
London.
Oh, that's
bad.
my other favorite porn, White Poontang.
No, it's called
That's not?
Pootie. What?
Ah.
All right, guys. Today we'll be roasting Hurricane Karen, the ominous creature out in the Atlantic Ocean.
Hold
We'll get to that.
Do you have a photo of Hurricane Karen?
I do.
Yeah. What does she look like?
Yep.
And yeah, that's
That's her.
absolutely her. There's no doubt. That is Hurricane Karen.
Oh my God.
Live, laugh, love.
That's so
definitely her.
amazing.
Hurricane Karen.
Kate is our guest. We'll let her kick things off. What do you got, Kate?
All right. Well, the internet blew up with this speak to the manager
Yeah.
comment, so I did one generic speak to the manager.
Please,
that's fair.
please.
Just get it out of the way up front.
Yeah.
Tropical storm Karen expected to upgrade to a Category 5 hurricane if she doesn't get to speak to a manager.
I like that. I got
Very
Travis.
accurate.
What you got?
Meteorologists believe Hurricane Karen will sweep up the coast into Atlanta, where she is expected to pick up Jaden and Blake from an AAU basketball game.
Hurricane Karen called the National Weather Service because Hurricane Lorenzo and Humberto were milling around and up to no good.
Hey, where y'all going? Hurricane, y'all stay out of Texas now.
Just walking, ma'am.
All right. I feel like my next one's
Yeah.
along those lines. Tropical storm Karen spends a few days in the Bahamas listening to Bob Marley and getting cornrows, but she'll still call the police on your cookout.
That's so good. It's so good. Trev?
The National Weather Service fear that Hurricane Karen will pick up strength after it realized it didn't have a coupon for North Carolina and that Florida was outside without a permit. You can't be here, Florida. Where is that?
Go
Where's your
on.
permit? Oh, no.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. That's not. Like, don't be mad at me.
Kate just mentioned it, but I know Hurricane Karen may make pit stops in Bahamas and Florida, which can be a bit of a wild time. Really, she's just a homebody who wants to curl up with a good book.
God, that is every profile on Bumble. Switch it up, women.
Kate.
Let's see. Tropical storm Karen slips into a tropical depression after hearing Property Brothers was canceled.
That's my favorite so far. Travis.
Hurricane Karen began to rage through the South over the weekend after it realized that McDonald's was no longer serving breakfast.
This is going to get a little weird, but it does fit the hurricane photo he said. Hurricane Karen slept with Hurricane Dorian while Hurricane Jerry filmed.
That is your best freaking joke on Target Practice Live. Yes, sir, Chris Denman.
Those are all real hurricanes.
That's
I just want you to
a
know that.
great job. That is outstanding. Why Hurricane Jerry filmed. That is hilarious, sir. Well done.
All right.
Good, that's good.
Jesus. Tropical storm Karen is centered 65 miles south of San Juan, moving it north at 8 miles an hour in a rascal scooter.
Gardner, will you transition to a rascal at some point to go away from your regular scooter?
I'll probably be more of a hover round man, my guy.
Got it.
Something similar, but either way, I'll still have a game.
You'll still have a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many more do you guys have?
I have
one
a couple more.
I have like 2.5. But
Okay, that's
not-
fine.
Yeah, we'll
you
work
know,
through 'em.
They're
Her-
not great.
Yeah.
Hurricane Karen would like you to know that she's not racist. She knows 5 tornadoes who are black.
Hurricane Karen could destroy countless homes and families, ruin vacations. It's definitely going to make a fool out of herself in Florida. Completely unrelated, Hurricane Karen is Kate's nickname every Mardi Gras.
Oh.
If I knew it was safe to drop an F-bomb.
You can say anything you want.
Man, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's rude. All right. Fucking rude. Although I did, like, there's a patch in my hair after I take a shower. If I don't, like, brush through it right away, it becomes, like, bristly and, like witch hair. I'm like, oh, my God, if I don't watch this in 10 years, I'm going to be speaking to a manager.
Yeah. That's how God planned
This
it.
is genetic. This is how it starts. Okay. This is a meteorology joke. They all are, but this one particularly. Tropical storm Karen avoiding warm fronts because she stands behind this thin blue line.
That is outstanding. What a.
Oh,
That's good.
That's great. We've got some listener comments. Get out your Sharpies. Hurricane Karen's going to white people Mecca, also known as Destin. And Tropical Storm Karen, and that's from Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer from Black Sheep. Tropical Storm Karen has her own self-proclaimed parking spot at the PTO school meeting.
Don't mind me, guys. Hurricane Karen returned to a calm tropical storm after the U.S. Air Force actually took Florida man's advice and shot it with pumpkin spice missiles.
Kate, how many more you got?
I just 1.5.
1.5.
Tropical storm Karen brings flash floods, mudslides, and power outages to Puerto Rico, as well as a devastating trail of unused Kohl's cash.
They said they were good.
Perfect.
They said I can still use these.
Mm-hmm.
You just did that. That's my mother. You need anything? Where are you going? Kohl's?
Kohl's.
I got
some cash left. I'm gonna use it before it expires, baby.
We're
even
white,
make fun
Gardner.
of
It's
you.
all our mothers.
Yeah. No, Kohl's. We should celebrate that during
You have to put that down. Put that down. Maybe we see if we can get them to
They had
sponsor
nice
that.
jeans for $5 at Labor Day.
I bought a sport coat.
$5. Travis, you got one more?
That was it for me, bro.
I'm done too. What do you got?
It's not a full joke. It's just her tropical storm Karen doesn't believe in climate change.
Yes. What a
Exactly.
great way to end it. That's a good note to
Guys,
end on.
give it up.
There we
Way
go.
to go.
That was fun.
Take that, Tropical Storm Karen.
That was fun.
That was so much
We
fun.
talk so much shit for being in the Midwest about hurricanes.
Yeah, for being a bad. Oh, yeah, stupid hurricane. No, thank you.
I don't want none of that.
I don't want to be part of that whatsoever. Guys, quick reminder, happiest hour tonight. Molly Ambergy, Kate Barton, Libby Higgins, 6 o'clock, free show. Stop by 3224 Locust. It's the second floor. Sophie's is a great cocktail lounge. We'll have Jack Daniels and Schlafly specials. Very, very excited to have this show today. I believe Libby has put us on to a visiting New York comic that she's friends with that's going to do a guest spot.
That'll be
So,
a lot of fun.
yeah, should be a good time. We'll all be there, and we expect you all to be there as well. Gardner?
I think I might have found it, but I'm not quite sure because I haven't listened to it yet. But it might be the full version of the radio open.
Oh, beautiful.
So let me. There might be
If
an
it's not,
edit.
Travis did make an edit at one point and drop some beats into it.
Okay, it's about 38 seconds.
That sounds
long,
right. That
so
sounds
I
right.
think this could be it. If not, there might be one
Okay,
edit in it.
let's
But
hear it.
I wanted to play this since
Casey
Kate
Reeves.
mentioned it as well.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Got two rookies on the radio. One is fast, one is slow. One is black, one is white. Turn that radio up tonight. They got football, baseball, MMA. Probably not tennis, probably not croquet. Writers and comedians every day.
Yes.
We are live, live, live. We are live, live, live. We are live, live, live. We are live.
That man has put out like 4 albums, and he's a very legitimate musician, and we subjected him to that. I'm so proud of it. That was pretty badass. You've never done radio before? You have your own theme song? Get out of here. We're
was
great.
fun.
We're awesome.
I play that every
a lot
time I
of
bring a
fun.
lady to the bedroom.
Where'd you find that? An old online episode or something?
No, I have it in my files.
Never know what Gardner doesn't
I
delete.
have archives back
Oh,
to
boy.
2004
For
Wow.
radio stuff?
from KMOX stuff,
Oh, wow.
and then I have all my 101 stuff.
Anything admissible in court?
I was gonna say, he's like,
Uh,
I think
oh,
he's
he's-
saving that.
oh, he
there,
does,
there
yeah.
are
What you
Yeah.
do
motives
Be careful.
Is
behind
you
this.
set up your hard drive
Yep.
with a device, you call from a particular burner cell phone, and it releases something and it burns your hard drive.
So he's got a
Wow.
a cyanide capsule.
Plus, you also get
Wow.
a second laptop for all your sensitive information.
Wow.
So there's that. You can see more of that tonight. Again, happiest hour, St. Louis.
You're welcome, people.
Gardner, you'll enjoy this recent update in regards to the whistleblower situation. Here, of course, in Missouri, we had Eric Greitens where they would use an app where they would message each other.
Confide.
They would use Confide. Well, apparently,
I'm the best at Twitter.
the complaint, when it reached the White House, was sent through a particular messaging app that would make things disappear. So once people read it, it would, like your snap, go away forever.
Like magic.
Like magic.
So dong pic was
So,
sent?
God knows. Wow, wouldn't that be funny if that comes back full circle to Stormy Daniels? This is just
That'll
all
end the
comes
show,
back
everybody.
right there.
Big thanks to everybody for tuning in today. Thanks to Kate, and excited to see her tonight again at Happiest Hour with Molly and Libby as well. 6 o'clock start for comedy. It's a very fun time, and we're very proud to be doing that show. Thanks to Jack Daniels. Kate, anything coming up or that we
What
need
are
to
some
know
dates,
about?
pal?
Jack, like tonight is
Tonight.
a really big night for
It
me.
is, yeah.
Okay.
5
Really
teachers
big.
and a
New
boyfriend.
5 teachers.
This could be
Honor.
bad. Yeah, and
On
especially
with Libby Higgins.
especially after all those roasts you put out there. Hope no Karens are in the
Oh
audience.
God, that's gonna
Could be
suck.
bad.
That's
Mm.
gonna suck.
For Gardner, for Kate Barton, for Travis Terrell, we're back tomorrow live at 8 a.m. See you then.
Peace.
Perched.
Oh.